This is Pep Guardiola, the world's best manager. And this is me. I'm unemployed with no experience. Yet my dream is to one day become a managerial mastermind. First though, I need a job. I must have sent over 100 emails begging for a chance. But sadly, no club was taking me seriously. But wait, I finally got a reply. It's from Accrington Stanley, an EFL League 2 club. Here I thought maybe we'd get an offer from a Premier League or La Liga club. But I guess with no experience, we are gonna have to start from the bottom. But wait a minute, it gets worse. The contract is not for the first team. It's for the Accrington Stanley Youth Academy. And what are these terms? It's gonna be minimum wage. This is not exactly the glamorous start I had imagined. But hey, even Pep Guardiola started out at Barcelona B, right? And anyway, since I don't have any other options, I'm signing this contract. Now, despite this being just a youth academy job, it was my first opportunity in the footballing world. And from day one itself, I took it very seriously. My first task was to get to know the lads. 16-year-old Mike Devine, Irish defender. Now, he's got quite a bit of talent, but he's also got a weird pre-game ritual of chugging 1 liter of milk, and he does that before every game. I guess that's why he's gotten so beefy. Definitely a weird kid. Then we've got Vadim Vasilev. What is he doing in Accrington Stanley? And if rumors about him are true, he used to fight polar bears back in Siberia. We've got Jordan Plant as well. He comes from a family of gardeners, hence the surname Plant. But he had no interest in running his father's flower shop, and so I guess he planted himself on the wing. And honestly, I'm already looking at his pace and some of his technical stats. I think this kid can do wonders for us. But we've got an even more talented player in Owen Winter. Now, from the few training sessions I've had with him, he does have a bit of an ego problem, and he thinks he's the coldest striker in the world right now. Now, although these kids were a bunch of misfits, they were talented, and so I was able to get through my tactics across to them. Of course, my tactics were really inspired by Pep, high-pressure football, but there was one difference. Pep likes to keep a lot of possession. I want to be more direct. It was all about attacking, all about goals. And that's what we showed in this Youth Academy tournament. We destroyed every team, and now I've got a chance to win my first trophy. I know it's just the Youth Academy trophy, but considering I was unemployed a few weeks ago, winning this would really mean a lot. But looks like the young lads are struggling to deal with pressure as we concede first. Okay, nor me or these youngsters have ever experienced a final, so I guess they're struggling with the pressure. In that case, we need Owen Winter to prove that he's the coldest player, but he's missed. This is why you should keep your head down and not have a big ego. How is Devine running like that, man? He just can't be caught up. He's a centre-back, but look at him go. Squares it for Owen Winter, and there's the equalizer. Chugging that milk probably gave Devine all the energy. Now, this final will be decided by penalties, and I was nervous, but looks like our young players had the mentality to see it through. And this is my first managerial achievement, winning at the Youth Academy tournament with Accrington Stanley. While the Accrington Stanley youth team was getting a lot of success, a lot of praise from the media, the first team, on the other hand, was getting absolutely cooked. Bottom of EFL League 2 after 9 games. They even sacked their manager. But nobody was really interested in managing them. Guys, just look at how bad their team is. Relegation to the National League looks inevitable. And I guess that's why the board offered me the role of caretaker manager until they figure out who can be permanent. And I know I just said this is an impossible job, but come on, man. How long can I continue just coaching a youth academy team? And if I can somehow fix the situation at Accrington Stanley, it could help me move up the football ladder. And so, yes, I'm taking up the job. But oh boy, what a situation we're in. Last in the league, outside of the transfer window, so I can't make any signings. To be fair, our budget is like £1 million. We're not making any signings anyway with this. All I can do for now is work on the tactics, and I think I want to go with a system that really worked for us in the Youth Academy. Aggressive high line, direct football, a 4-3-3 formation. But there was one problem. When I tried to get my ideas across to the players, they thought I was speaking Chinese. They had no clue what this style of football meant, nor did they have the talent to execute it. Oh my days, this is bad. We just got carved open. Why are these players so bad? Are we going to concede again? Yes, we do. Can I just go back to coaching the youth team? I think I've just realized that these players do not have the IQ to adapt to my tactical style. Does that mean we'll have to give up and go back to a 5-at-the-back system? I mean, it might help us get results, and ultimately that is the most important thing for the manager. But would my idol Pep Guardiola sacrifice his vision? He would never do that. And that's why we're gonna stick with this system, but I have a plan. Now remember, when I was the coach of the Accrington Stanley Youth Academy, there were a few players there who did understand our style of play, and frankly, frankly speaking, are way more talented than the players we've already got. I mean, look at that. Owen Winter is already 66 rated. Jordan Plant as well. And I see a lot of potential in Vasilev as well as Devine. I'm promoting them all to the first team. And I'm straight away putting these lads into our starting 11. And okay, yes, Vasilev on the ball. I feel really confident now that we've got a few players at least who can understand the kind of football I want to play. But of course, for these youngsters, it's their first professional game. Oh, but look at Plant. He's broken through and he actually scores. Well, isn't it a good thing he decided not to become a gardener? And to be fair, he is planting goals for us here. Oh, look at the energy of Vasilev. He does not stop. Looks like even Owen Winter wants to join the party, and he's got a proper chance here, and he finishes it. Drops a cold celebration as well. And just like that, I get my first win as a professional manager. We've now made it to January, and look at how different things are. We're no longer in the relegation zone. Instead, we've bumped up to 11th, a mid-table spot. I mean, our decision to promote the likes of Winter, Plant, Vasilev, Devine has actually paid off massively. I mean, they've even grown in their overall in the short time. But as I said before, we're now in January, and I've got a big decision to make. You see, if we push on from here and keep getting results like we have been, there's a good chance we can sneak in a playoff spot, possibly even automatic promotion. But for that, are we gonna need reinforcements? Is it time for me to go out in the market and make my first ever signing as a manager? With 860k though, it's gonna be pretty limited, and that's why instead I'm spending that money on my coaching staff. I feel more than a makeshift transfer, having the right people at the club so the existing players can flourish, that's the way. And I'm sure these new coaches coming in are going to help the rest of the team also understand our tactical style. We can't rely on just academy players if we want to get promoted. We're going to need the entire squad. And guess what? The decision to bring in coaches has paid off massively. The team kept improving week by week. Of course, up front, it was Owen Winter. Out wide, it was Jordan Plant, the creator-in-chief. And holding it all together at the back, the enforcer Vasilev, as well as Devine, the fearless Irishman. These four players were the pillars of our team, but now everyone around them was also getting better, and they were able to hold their own. And guess what's that resulted in? We finished 6th in the league, from literally being in the relegation zone when I took over as caretaker manager, to now in the playoffs. And it gets better for us because we've just about knocked out Barrow in the semi-finals. And no freaking way, we've got a playoff final now. I mean, just 1 year ago, I was out there playing a youth academy tournament final. I was literally a nobody. But now here I am at Wembley, a chance to see my team get promoted. This is the biggest night of my life. And it's the biggest night of these players too. I'm definitely a bit nervous that we've got 4 bunch of kids starting here at Wembley. But over this season, they have showed that they deserve this. Oh, and Owen Winter's broken through. This is his chance. Can he drop another ice cold finish? But no, he puts it wide. Is he feeling the pressure? Because I think he is. I remember in the Youth Academy tournament final as well, he was a bit iffy with his chances. I know it's nerve-wracking playing at Wembley here, but there's no choice. We've got to deal with this. We've got to get promoted. And Winter again gets an opportunity. This time, though, off the post and in. And of course, he drops the cold celebration. Nah, this man does not feel nerves. On the other end, though, Notts County weren't about to give up. What a save from our keeper. Notts County were making this a proper fight. Once again, we were saved by Kelly. Devine is having to defend and does a good job. But man, since we scored that goal, we've only been defending. That's got to change. No, no, no. We've been completely opened up. A cross is coming in. Clear it away. No, we can't. It's all square here at Wembley. The game's not over yet. Winter goes for a cheeky pass for Henderson. The cutback. It's brilliantly done. And Owen Winter. Of course it was him. I don't know about him being the coldest player in the world. He's definitely the coldest on this pitch, though. And it's done. Full time. As caretaker manager, we've secured promotion for Accrington Stanley. But guess what? The celebrations aren't even over, and I'm already getting a message from the board. They want to hire me as their permanent manager. And I'm looking at the contract right now. They're paying me a little bit more than minimum wage, but only just a little. But wait a minute. Before we even kick off preseason, the board have gone ahead and sold Winter, Plant, as well as Vasilev. These were 3 players we were building our Accrington Stanley project around. 3 players I developed from the academy. But to be honest, I can't blame the board for selling them. There were interests from foreign clubs. And after the season the likes of Winter and Plant had, I knew a club like Accrington Stanley wouldn't be able to keep them. But the question is, what do I do now? I've got this contract ahead of me from Accrington Stanley. But again, this is a club that's not going to have really any ambition. It can't keep hold of its players. We're not going to get much money to compete in League One. Even if I stay here, most likely I'll be fighting a relegation battle. Now, the good thing is I'm yet to sign this contract. And since I really impressed as caretaker manager, there is interest from other clubs. In fact, I've got a message here from Ryan Reynolds. Now, okay, he's not offering me a Hollywood deal or anything, but he is offering me a job to manage Wrexham. You see, they're a championship club now. Unfortunately, though, they're struggling. They barely survived relegation last season. And after seeing how I was able to pull off a miracle here at Accrington, Mr. Reynolds wants me to take the job. Now, this is an ambitious project. Wrexham's goal is to become a Premier League club, but this seems like the perfect next step for me as a manager, being a championship coach. So let's do it. We're signing the contract, and off I go to Wrexham. Okay, why is it that every club I join starts off using a 5 at the back system? But don't you worry, we're changing everything around here. It's time to bring in S2G ball to Wrexham. The same ultra-aggressive, high-pressure football, we're going to bring that here. But I think we're going to have the same problem we had at Accrington Stanley, where the players aren't really used to this system. I mean, we barely have any wingers at the club. Also, we got super lucky with the academy when we were at Accrington Stanley. I don't think that's happening here. But saying that, the Wrexham board has given us 4.3 million. I think it's finally time for me to make my first transfer as manager. And I found Scott Twine, 27-year-old winger, should just about fit our budget, but he's exactly the kind of player I need in that right wing position. And here I am in the office negotiating with a fellow championship club, and I think we're gonna settle at 3 million. But I'm so close now to signing my first ever player. But wait a minute, Scott has rejected us. He thinks that I'm not an experienced manager and he does not want to play under me. He also believes this Wrexham project is doomed to fail, so he does not want to take the risk. I think in the managerial market, I am still treated as like a novice, and attracting talent from the same league is going to be difficult. Everybody believes we're just going to get relegated, especially after I'm switching to more of an attacking system. If I want to make signings this season, it's probably going to have to be from a lower division. And okay, I found this man from Peru, Chamir Darrigo, plays for Portsmouth. Honestly, don't know much about him, but looking at his pace and dribbling, I think we can mold him into being what we need. And this time, at least, we don't get humiliated in the contract negotiations. I have finally made my first ever signing, the Peruvian winger Darrigo. But man, with just one signing, we're basically out of our budget. And I don't think signing just one winger is going to be enough. We're going to need someone on the left side as well. I think I'm going to have to make a move that might not be popular with the dressing room, selling quite a few players. You see, we've got way too many strikers. I'm convinced that the man I need to trust is Paul Mullin. He's a Wrexham legend. I know he's going to guarantee us goals. And I know the previous manager at Wrexham when they were in League One really didn't trust Mullin. Apparently, the media even says that he's not really good enough for the Championship. League 2 was his level. But I don't trust that, boys. I feel like Mullin is the kind of player that can unite our team. And that's why I'll be putting my faith in him. Meanwhile, we were able to generate funds by selling the other strikers at the club. And would you look at that, our budget is up to 7 million now. And that should be more than enough to sign a player from Borussia Dortmund. Well, not really the main Dortmund team. This is Dortmund 2, who play in the 3rd division of Germany. They've got Julian Hetwer, a 71 rated winger. He is exactly what I need in that left wing position. And for £4 million, that is an incredible acquisition. It was now time for my championship debut. All eyes though are on the wingers, because that's where we've spent all the money. Oh, but Hetwer is finding the championship a bit physical. On the other side, we do have Darrigo. He's getting bullied off as well. I'm starting to feel that in too little time, we've tried to bring too big of a change. But come on, we finally have a chance now with Darrigo as he looks inside for Paul Mullin. What a chance. No, he got taken out. Also defending with the back four. This team is not used to that. And Hannibal Mejbri gets the goal for Burnley. I think focusing on just our attack was a massive mistake, because defensively, that's where we've got most problems. We almost conceded again. But come on, this is where the investment in the attack is going to pay off. Here goes Hetwer. Proper chance. What was that finish? And no way, defensively, what are we doing? We concede again. And this ended up being the story of our season. Going from a back 5 to a back 4, the team just couldn't adapt, and we conceded goal after goal after goal. Oh no, halfway through the season and we're in the relegation zone. The media too are making fun of me, calling me Fraudiola. Football pundits too are attacking me, saying that my tactical system would never work in the Championship. To be honest, they're right. I just don't feel we've got the defenders who can do the job. What's the point if we concede 2 to 3 goals every game? I'm also under pressure now from Ryan Reynolds. If I don't keep Wrexham up this season, I will be sacked. And if that happens, a sacking on my CV, it's going to be really difficult to come out of. No big club would want to hire me, and my dream of becoming a managerial mastermind will be crushed. Okay, I've got an idea. I still know this system can work. We just need the right players at the back. Someone to be the wall that can save us from conceding goals. And if you remember in Accrington Stanley, we did have a defender who fits everything what we need. And funnily enough, he was the only one who didn't get a transfer to a foreign club. I'm talking about the milk-chugging machine, Mike Devine. He's gone up to a 65 overall, but I feel like his career without me has kind of just stalled. I think he was definitely the most underrated among that Accrington Stanley batch. That's why he couldn't get a transfer out. But I feel like he's exactly what we need in our defense. And he's going to cost less than $1 million. And there you go. I've just been reunited with my favorite centre-back, Mike Devine. Is it me or Mike has just gotten even bigger? But what matters is that from day one, Mike was an absolute rock at the back. And apart from being a wall and stopping goals, he was also helping out in the build-up play. And the fact that he was just a 17-year-old kid means that he was getting better and better game by game. Now, my boy Devine has definitely got our defense back in order. But if we want to stay up, our attack that we spent quite a bit of money on needs to deliver. And Watford are the team we're facing right now. They're directly competing with us to avoid relegation. Oh, and Devine with a bit of space. How has he found that? Oh my days, Devine! Who needs an attack when you've got Mike Devine? What a goal! Paul Mullin diving header. That's why he's still playing for Wrexham. And what a relief. We don't end up getting relegated. Just one position away, though, from the drop. Now, that does mean the Wrexham board won't sack me, but it doesn't mean we've had a successful season. Compared to EFL League 2, I just couldn't make an impact here. Of course, things improved once we brought in Devine, but if I really want to make headlines as a manager, I need to get this Wrexham team promoted. But from where we are currently, promotion looks like a long, long way out. We're now in our second season with Wrexham, and the good thing is we do have a foundation built. Devine at the back is going to be reliable, we know that. In the wide positions, I know Hetwa and Darigo are perfect for the job. If the Wrexham board give me a decent budget, I think we can figure out a team that can fight for promotion. And you know what? It looks like we are getting some of that Hollywood money. 9.4 million is going to be our budget. And after observing this team last season, I already know how we need to spend that money. The midfield needs a massive revamp. If I'm trying to instill my tactical playstyle here, we need midfielders who can keep up, technically who can bring the ball forward. But apart from that, we're gonna have to make an emotional decision. I think it's time to say goodbye. I know he's a club legend. It's a painful decision to make, but if I need to move forward with this club, I need a better striker now. I actually got a lot of hate from the fans for this move, but they're just gonna have to trust what I'm trying to do here. Now that we've proven that we can survive in the championship, we should be able to sign players from the same league. That itself could give us a lot more quality. Now, this is the man I want to replace Paul Mullin. George Hurst. He plays for Ipswich. That means recently he has had Premier League experience. I think a player of that caliber is going to be invaluable in our team. And for 4 million, it's not even breaking the bank. Now, we still need to improve our midfield. Otherwise, Hurst isn't even going to get the ball. And I think it's very important we find a player who can fit our tactics. Someone who can handle the aggressive nature of our game, the direct football. And for that, I think we need to go to Spain. Like, look at Oscar Melendo here. On the face of it, you might think he looks so average. But look at what he's good at. Incisive passing, long ball. He's got the flair. That's what I need in my midfield. And of course, since we didn't have to pay the English tax, we literally got him for like 2 million. Absolute steal. But we do have the media questioning this transfer already. Is Melendo too weak for the championship? Can he handle the physicality? But you know what? We'll remember all these headlines, because I'm sure Melendo's going to prove all of them wrong. Now, I'm not done with improving our midfield just yet. I still feel like we're missing a player to hold everything together. And that player has got to be Vadim Vasilev. Look at how much he's grown after joining Deportivo La Coruña. 69 overall. Bet he's enjoying life playing in the Segunda Division. But I'm sure if his former coach comes in with an offer, he will happily join us. But to sign him, boys, I think we're going to have to do maybe a swap deal. I'm willing to let go of Dobson. It might seem crazy because he's higher rated than Vasilev, but I know what Vasilev can do. And looks like it's time for yet another reunion. Just like with our other signings, I'm sure the media is going to criticize this. They don't know that this kid was fighting polar bears back in Siberia. He'll be just fine. And looks like with all the signings, we were more than fine too. We were scoring the most goals in the league. Our game plan was simple. Get the ball ball to Melendo, let him feed the wingers, and eventually find our ruthless box in the box Hurst. Week after week, it worked like clockwork. Meanwhile, at the back, Vasilev used all the experience he gained in the Segunda to dominate the midfield. Devine too kept improving as attackers couldn't even get past him. Now, we did have some struggles, especially against the richer championship clubs like Brentford. But just look at where we finished, 4th in the league. That is outrageous considering last season we barely survived relegation. Also, look at the amount of goals we scored, more than anyone else. My goodness, man. George Hurst, what a transfer this has been. He scored 32 goals. Also, absolutely no doubts about Mike Devine handling himself in the championship. Look at how much he's grown. Vasilev too. And looks like we're going to Wembley because we've knocked out Southampton in the semis. It's been a couple of years since I was at Wembley. The last time was with Accrington Stanley. And here we are once again fighting for a playoff promotion. This time though, the prize is Premier League. I could legit become a Premier League manager if I can help my team get the win here. I mean, that's been one of my dreams, coaching a club at the very highest level. If we can pull this off, it will legit be the biggest achievement in my managerial career so far. But it looks like we are feeling the pressure. Not off to a good start. Keeper making the save. Now, I know we're going to have a few players feeling nerves, but I'm sure players like Vasilev, they've been through a lot with me. They are not going to be feeling any sort of nerve. Look at him pick out Darigo here. What a chance that is. And we've taken the lead here at Wembley. Did you see the confidence with which Vasilev drove the ball forward? That is exactly why I brought him in here. But we're going to need Mike Devine at the back too. And look at him doubling up with Vasilev. That is just brilliant. Right now, we're genuinely looking unstoppable here. I could maybe cross this one for Georgie Hurst, and I've done exactly that. And he leaps ahead of the defender. What a goal. And looks like I've done it again at Wembley. 2-2. We're going up with Wrexham to the Premier League. This feels nice, man, because last season there were so many doubters. We were in a relegation battle. Everybody thought that was going to happen again. But now we made the right signings, stuck with our game plan, and look at the results. The question now is, what next? Ryan Reynolds has already offered me a contract renewal to stay at Wrexham. But truth be told, I feel like we've done our job here. I don't see us doing much more in the Premier League unless we get backed by like crazy money. Meanwhile, I'm sure my stocks are up now in the manager market. A lot of clubs probably want me after this achievement. We're gonna have to make a big decision. Now, I wasn't kidding when I said that a lot of clubs were interested in me. And among the Premier League clubs, Newcastle was the one that seemingly wanted my signature. Now, this would really be a good move. We'd be managing a Premier League club. We'll also be backed with a lot of money. But there is another more interesting offer from a foreign club, that too. Also a club that is in the Champions League, Borussia Dortmund. Now, I have no idea why they're approaching me, because I've literally just been a championship level manager. How am I going to make the jump to Champions League? In fact, I'm wondering, how do they even know that I exist? Well, it turns out that a certain Jordan Plant is now playing for Borussia Dortmund, and I guess he put in a good word for me. I definitely feel the more ambitious choice is choosing Dortmund. We'd have a chance to maybe compete for the Bundesliga title, play Champions League football. I mean, that is what I want to be doing as a manager. Plus experience in a foreign league. That's what will help me on my journey to becoming a managerial mastermind. And so I'm signing the contract with Dortmund, and it's time to head to Germany. Okay, I did not expect to be coaching a team with this much talent. Dortmund have got 90 rated Ronald Araujo, there's Gregor Kobel as well, Adeyemi, Girassi, Joe Bellingham. And of course, I'm so happy for the reunion, meeting Jordan Plant and coaching him once more. He's actually grown so much to an 80 overall. I guess his stint in France and now, of course, Germany has really paid off. But okay, it's time for us to begin our job. The board have given us objectives for the season. They want us to win the Bundesliga, topple Bayern Munich's dominance. But they also want us to go on a Champions League run, making it to the semi-finals. I mean, all this is uncharted territory for me. Until now, the biggest games for me were like the playoff finals, but now it's going to be high-stake first division football as well as Champions League nights. I need to be prepared. And of course, everything starts with the tactics. One good thing is Dortmund are used to playing high-pressure, aggressive football. We're just going to be toning it up even more. But one doubt I have is using this 3-at-the-back system. It's not a tactical system I'm comfortable with, but I feel like we can't just go to a big club and change up everything. It works at smaller clubs, but at Dortmund, this is probably the style they're used to. If we do something drastic, it might backfire. Maybe I need to adapt as a manager and figure out how to make these tactics work. And one way I can definitely definitely do that is by signing the right players. Because, yeah, this team does need a few reinforcements. I think we could really do with another cam. Definitely more depth in the centre-back spot. And guess what? For the first time in my managerial career, I'm dealing with big budgets like this. 75 million. Now, with that kind of money, I did consider maybe signing Vadim Vasilev as well as Mike Devine. But I think in the current stage of their career, it's better off for them to experience Premier League football with Wrexham. Dortmund might be a step too high for them, at least for now. I gotta think about their career progression as well. Besides that, I've got other plans, and one of them involves Thiago Almada. In our current system, I feel Almada would just be perfect, and that's why securing the signing of Thiago Almada was huge. That's, by the way, the most money I think I've spent on a single player, but I think it's going to be worth it. In fact, Almada's going to be a big outlet for goals for us because we're going to have him as like a shadow striker. Now, for the centre-back spot, I think I found an even better deal. Konstantinos Kouliarakis, Greek centre-back, a lot of pace, and he just about fits in our remaining budget. And finally, it's time for my debut in the Bundesliga. This is the first time I'm going to be managing a club in the first division. And oh man, when I started off as Accrington Stanley Youth Academy coach, who would have thought in 4 years we would be here? And it isn't just me, by the way. Here's Jordan Plant on the ball. He's been on this journey too. But wait a minute, guys. Our defense is getting torn apart here. Chance after chance for Hoffenheim. And no, on the rebound, they've actually scored. I'm trying to get Jordan Plant involved in the game, but he's forced out wide way too much. He can't do much from there. And no way, they've doubled their lead. My debut in the Bundesliga, and it's been an utter embarrassment. Now, things got even worse because I just couldn't figure out how to use this 3-at-the-back formation. Maybe it was also because I couldn't get my instructions across to the team, the language barrier and whatnot. But because of all that, we were conceding way too many goals. And if that wasn't enough, my star signing Almada, he tore his hamstring. Also, Jordan Plant was getting increasingly frustrated being forced to play as a touchline winger. The last straw, though, for us was against Bayern Munich. We got absolutely pummeled. The German media had me locked in to get sacked after that. Look at where we are, boys. 7th in the league. 16 points off Bayern Munich. It's been a complete disaster. Oh my days. We got knocked out in the Champions League group stages. That is incredible. Humiliation I don't think I've ever experienced. And remember our board objectives? We're about to fail both of them. If we keep this going, 100% we're going to get sacked. And I don't think another big club is going to take a chance on me. At this point, I was close to giving up. I thought maybe big clubs aren't meant for me. I should go back to EFL League One or the Championship, coach a small club there. But then Jordan Plant stormed into my office.
Boss, have you lost your mind? What's with this defeatist mentality? This isn't how we won the Youth Academy tournament at Accrington.
Jordan, my boy, I appreciate the support, but I feel like I'm out of my depth here.
You haven't even tried establishing your tactics here.
At a big club like Dortmund? I didn't think that was the smart move. What would the players think?
You're the gaffer. Show some balls. Make the big decisions and please sort yourself out so we can win something this season.
I did not expect that from Jordan Plant. Coming into a meeting like that with me and actually kind of bullying me. But he was right. The reason we've struggled so far at Dortmund is because I've been afraid to coach a big club. I've not imposed my style of play. And if I want to be successful as a big manager, I gotta do that. Not gonna care what the German media thinks. The players who believe in my system, they're gonna stay. The rest can leave. So let's fix up Dortmund now. Okay, I am changing quite a bit here. We're going to the 4-3-3 attack formation. A bit different to what I used to use before, but this way we can get the best out of Thiago Almada, who has recovered now from his injury. We also won't be having as high of a defensive line. Based on my learnings in the Bundesliga, this might be smarter. Plus, with the pace we've got in the attack, Adeyemi and Plant on each side, I think being more of a lethal counter-attacking team is going to be better. Now, for the left-back spot, somehow we've got Lewis Skelly in here. I think I'm going to trust him, though. We don't really have a right back at the club, but I know Ronald Araujo can do the job there, so he's going to play there. And this is how we're going to set up this Dortmund team. And now we're heading to the Allianz Arena to try and revive our season. Not gonna lie, I'm definitely nervous going up against Bayern Munich with, of course, completely new tactics. But also, I've got to believe in my managerial ability. It's gotten me so far in my career. I know that we can get a result in against Bayern and turn things around at the club, especially if Jordan Plant wants to make it happen. What a ball that is for Joe Bellingham. What a finish as well. That is why we needed Jordan Plant to be in those attacking positions so he can create. And here's my signing, Almada. He gets the goal as well. Bayern Munich don't know what hit them. In fact, even while defending, the 4-back system just works. And wait, we could now get revenge for that 3-0 defeat. Guirassi's in the box. Guirassi with the header. This is exactly the kind of result we need to turn around our season. The momentum from that win was enough to carry us up to 3rd in the Bundesliga. We've definitely saved our season. We will be in the Champions League next year. But still, because of how we exited in the Champions League, I'm really unsure if I'll get to keep my job for next year. I mean, I do think once I changed formation, I kind of figured out how to get this team working. There was a lot of growth as well from the likes of Adeyemi and even Plant. I would really like to take this project forward one more year because I know I can do better in the Champions League. I know I can push for the Bundesliga. And wait a minute, we've made the German Cup final. This might be my chance to convince the Dortmund higher-ups that I deserve to keep my job. If I can win some silverware here, it would also, by the way, be my first ever managerial trophy. We've only won playoff trophies so far, but this ain't gonna be easy. Pressure in a final like this is something we haven't felt, and already this looks like an intense game with the way Bayer Leverkusen are going about things. Come on, boys. Jordan Plant on the charge. If there's one player I know that can deliver in games like this, it is Plant. Ah, but he gets tackled way too easily. This isn't just a new experience for me. Even Plant is playing such games for the first time in his career. That's why maybe we need the experienced players to step up like Guirassy, who breaks through and gives us the lead. Oh, but now we need to worry about defending here. Everybody's putting their body on the line. And finally, we save it in Kobel. How? The craziest double save I think I've ever seen. Now on the counter-attack, we've got Adeyemi running forward, and here he goes, one of the fastest players in the world, but he can't get the finish right. This pressure from Leverkusen, I'm starting to feel worried here. I think we need that second goal if we want to win this cup final. And maybe one player who can get us that second goal is Jordan Plant. Gets it onto his left foot, goes for goal. It's off the post, but the rebound, it somehow goes in. Scrappy goal, but Joe Bellingham gets it done. And we've done it, boys. My first trophy as a manager. I did not expect to be here, especially how badly the season went. But we managed to fight back. We imposed ourselves tactically. And in the end, it all worked out. My first trophy, the German Cup for Dortmund. Now, I thought winning this trophy was going to be enough to get me to keep my job. But surprisingly, I got the message from the Dortmund board. They are not looking to renew my contract. Yes, boys, despite the fact that we won the German Cup, we've been sacked. That kind of shows how ruthless it is managing a top-level club. We didn't deliver in the main competitions, the Bundesliga, the Champions League. And that's it. We're kicked out of this project. Everything we worked for in this last 6 months, the German Cup, all of that now just forgotten. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was a bit sad when this decision was made. I thought it was going to really impact my managerial career. We were not going to get any jobs. I even thought we might need to go back to managing a championship club. Instead, though, a couple of Premier League clubs still want me. There's Newcastle. They wanted me last season, but instead I chose Borussia Dortmund. I know we didn't have the most success here, but we still won a trophy. I'm happy with my decision. But is it maybe time now to choose Newcastle? Go back to the Premier League. But wait a minute. We also have an offer from Arsenal. It looks like Arsenal's board is done trusting the process with Mikel Arteta. But you know what? I think I really like this opportunity. We'll be at a club that can compete for the Premier League title. Possibly Champions League as well. And I think now I've got experience managing a big club through Dortmund. This could be the job that elevates me to becoming a top manager. Okay, I'm definitely happy that Arsenal are already using a system that's very similar to my best tactics. It's the 4-3-3, and I'm sure it should be easy convincing everyone to play an aggressive brand of football. That is kind of how Arsenal play regardless, and I really like the team they've got. Eze, of course, in the attack. Gyökeres is there. Bukayo Saka. Bro, these are world-class players that I'm about to be coaching, like Declan Rice, Saliba. But saying that, I do want to make a statement. Unlike at Dortmund, where I was shy to kind of make the team my own, I want to do that here from day one. And the best way I can do that is by signing players that I want to bring in. And the good thing is the Arsenal board have given me complete freedom over their transfer policy. We have 224 million as well to spend. But of course, the board are also going to be demanding. The objectives we have for this season: winning the Premier League, reaching the Champions League semi-finals. Now, I don't think this squad is quite there yet to achieve those goals, but it will be once we sign potentially another centre-back, as well as improve our midfield. And I do have a couple of players that would fit perfectly into this team. And also, these are two boys that I've coached for a long time, all the way back to my Accrington Stanley days. Of course, I'm talking about the milk-chugging machine, Mike Devine, and the man who faced polar bears and lived to tell the tale, Vadim Vasilev. Look at how much these two kids have grown. Devine is now 83 rated. He's got to move to Newcastle. It is kind of funny though how Newcastle have tried so much to sign me. They never could. Instead, they went for my academy player. Vasilev is enjoying time in La Liga, by the way, playing for Villarreal. Looks like both of them moved on from Wrexham when we left. But I think it's now time to get the band back together. And yup, we're securing the signings of both Devine and Vasilev. This time though, surprisingly, no criticism from the media. I guess they've seen me do this before, signing players that I've coached, and they've seen the success it brings as well. Now, I think everybody knows we've signed Devine to be Saliba's partner, but I'm sure the question you guys are asking, how does Vasilev fit in? We've got Declan Rice, but you know what? I feel like Declan Rice is too good to be used in that CDM role. I want to give him freedom to go forward a little bit, so we will have him as a box-to-box midfielder, and then we can have Vasilev do the job in that CDM spot. I think now this does feel like a Premier League winning team, but we'll only find out whether we're going to be true contenders or once again second place merchants on the pitch. We're facing Liverpool at Anfield, and I've just realized this is my managerial debut in the biggest league in the world. Man, we've come a long way from coaching in EFL League 2. But I do want to prove that I belong here. It is kind of crazy that we've got Bukayo Saka at our disposal, and he can play passes like that for Victor Gyökeres, who's getting it on his left foot, and Gyökeres should have converted that chance. Okay, maybe I can learn a bit from Mikel Arteta with the Arsenal set-piece technique, but nope, that is probably his speciality. This match has kind of been like a stalemate because Arne Slot's tactics are very similar to mine, so it's been a proper midfield battle. I do feel like we are dominating the midfield. Vasilev has been crucial so far, but we need somebody to put in that finishing touch, and maybe it's Bukayo Saka. How is that getting saved? Okay, now I'm a bit worried about Liverpool having a chance here. Big save from Restes. Devine has got that one covered. He's had a solid game as well. I would really love to get a debut win if possible, because I remember at Dortmund we had debut humiliation instead of a win. Surely that can't happen here at Arsenal, and it won't happen if Declan is given space to shoot. Declan Rice on my managerial debut has just done that. I can't believe it on the touchline too, bro. That was crazy. Exactly why we've given Declan more freedom, and he's just shown what he can do. Oh, Devine is going to have to face off Isaac to try and save the game, and he did enough to get the job done. And that is the full-time whistle. We've got a win at Anfield to start off our season. This is exactly the kind of result that's going to get the media to call us a title contender. Now, I did still have some worries. The fact that we couldn't score more goals. But it looks like we're going to have a bigger worry because our star striker, Victor Gyökeres, has been sold. Apparently, he had a gentleman's agreement with the Arsenal board that if Barcelona came calling, they would let him leave. But no way this has happened when I've just come in as manager. Gyökeres was a key part of our attack. And now we're going to have to scramble to find a new striker with just 7 hours to go on deadline day. Now, I asked my scouts to give me options for the striker spot, and one name popped up that definitely piqued my interest. Owen Winter. That's right, boys. The kid with the big ego that we coached at Accrington Stanley. He's actually built up a fantastic career for himself, now playing at PSG, winning golden boots for fun. But his ego has also inflated massively. And that's kind of why I thought maybe he wouldn't be the right fit for our team. But seemingly, PSG have put him on the transfer list. Their coach, Luis Enrique, thinks that he's got a bigger ego than even Kylian Mbappe. And so he doesn't want anything to deal with him. Now, to be honest, if he's our only option, it's actually still a pretty good one. He's 86 rated at the age of 21. The shooting, the pace. Now, I have scheduled a meeting with Winter. I have no idea how this is going to go.
Hello, old man. You must be chuffed knowing you had the privilege of coaching me back then.
You haven't changed one bit, Winter. Still full of yourself.
Full of goals, you mean? Anyways, why should the world's best striker sign for you second place merchants?
Funny you say that, considering you've won 0 trophies at PSG.
It's not my fault my teammates were shite.
Then join me here at Arsenal. Devine and Vasilev are here too. And it's not just them. You'll have teammates that can not only keep up, but also can devour that ego of yours. You want to win trophies? Then sign that contract. It's your decision. Now, that conversation definitely pissed off Owen Winter. In fact, it pissed him off so much that he instantly signed the contract. That's some top-tier man management from me. I knew the kind of man Owen is. What we needed to say to get him riled up. And look at this now. We've got him in an Arsenal shirt. And now we've got the North London derby. Owen Winter's debut. I want to see what he's all about. And already I'm trying to find the ball. He's got the pace but doesn't get to it. Saka's got the ball out wide. And I see Owen making a nice run. And Winter has come for Arsenal. They have their new Night King. And bro, Owen is actually insane. He breaks through the entire defense all by himself. And he's got the finish as well. Owen Winter for sure is making us a Premier League contender. What a feeling this is for me as a manager to win a North London derby. And looks like, yes, we are in the title race. The fight is going to be between Arsenal and Man City. And that means for us to win the Premier League, we're going to have to go to the Etihad Stadium and get a result against Pep Guardiola. I mean, I guess this was my dream. Competing against the world's best manager, Pep. Now, they might have Erling Haaland. We've got Owen Winter. I'm feeling confident for this game. Oh no, Haaland is through, but Restes parries it away. Bro, slowly but surely, it is Manchester City who are dominating. Restes having to make another save. Come on, man, the Premier League title is on the line. The team needs to wake up. Haaland again going through. Saliba's going to have to block him from shooting, but he goes for the pass for Echeverry. Good defending. It's halftime, boys, and the scoreline is level. Don't forget, we're the ones who need the 3 points to win the title. And that's why second half, we got to push for the goal. Winter's not having a good game as well. Come on, man. Where's his ego during this time? Now we're talking. He's actually passing and moving the ball around smartly. Eze looking for the ball for Winter at the back post, but it was not good enough. Oh no, David, how did you let him through it? Now Man City have a chance to win the Premier League if they score this. And I can't believe it. It's actually gone in. As things stand, Man City are about to win the Premier League. And once again, Arsenal will finish second. But there's still about 30 minutes left. We can change the future, but we need to score fast. Declan Rice looking for Winter, who's really had a pathetic game so far. He's still trying, though. Winter keeps going. Can't get the shot off. Time is running out, though, but we need that one goal. Is it going to come from someone? It's Winter again. He's gotten past this man. Owen Winter, but he puts it wide. That was his chance. And again, he's got the ball. This time, he passes to Bukayo Saka. That's a new thing happening here. Saka goes well, cuts it back for Winter, and Winter gets the goal. I don't know why we're celebrating like crazy, because we need one more goal if we want to win the title. But there's no time left. I can't believe it. City hang on to being top of the league. And I'm got it, boys. 2 points. That was the difference between us and Man City. If only we had won that game. Also, it's another season finishing second, man. That is what I wanted to avoid. I'm just Mikel Arteta 2.0 right now. Thought I'd check how we did in the Champions League, but guess what? We weren't even in it. How? Freaking Spurs were in the Champions League, but not us. Okay, it does feel good that they got knocked out in the league phases. Now, we were in the Europa League, but we got dismantled by Fulham. I'm actually so disappointed, man, because the team grew so well. I mean, look at Owen Winter, 88 overall. And guess what? Individually, it was all about him. 39 goals this season. Are you joking? And talking about Winter, he wants to have a meeting with me. And I don't have a good feeling about this because remember, we did promise him to win trophies here at Arsenal. But instead, we got him another second place finish. I think he's going to be pissed.
Old man, Real Madrid want me, and I put in a good word for you, so they want you too. And come on, at Real Madrid, I could be lifting trophies, winning a Ballon d'Or even.
Now, initially, when Owen Winter came with this proposition, I was thrilled. A chance to coach Real Madrid, the world's biggest club. Should I go with Winter to Real Madrid? And I was close to making that decision, but then I remembered why I went on this journey. The goal was to become a managerial mastermind. I don't think that's going to happen by winning with Real Madrid. Most managers can do that with the kind of funds and backing and the quality of players they have. But on the flip side, taking Arsenal to Premier League glory after more than 2 decades, making them win their first Champions League, that is what would make me a great manager. And that's why I want to stay here for another season. Now, I definitely got to convince Winter to stay. If we want to dream of winning the Premier League and Champions League next season, Owen Winter needs to be our main man up top. Okay, Owen, I need you to calm down. You think walking away from the moment it gets tough makes you a champion? Nah, you're just going to be called a runner, a player who failed in the Premier League.
Look at my stats, boss. Who are you calling the failure? I just don't want to waste my prime not winning any trophies.
Remember, Winter, you trusted me at Accrington Stanley. What did we achieve? A youth trophy as well as promotion. I need you to trust me here at Arsenal. If you go to Madrid, you're just going to be another starter on a long list. But over here at Arsenal, you're the face of this project. When we win the Premier League and Champions League this season, your name will be etched in Arsenal folklore.
But what if we fail again? I don't like losing.
Well, then we get back up, because that's what greatness is. Think about Vasilev, Davin. They believe in you, Winter. If you walk now, you'll abandon them.
I can't believe you're making me reject Real Madrid with your stupid speech. We better become Premier League champions this season.
Now, this is not good. Our budget for the season is 79 million. That's after qualifying for Champions League football. Considering how much money we had last season, this is kind of disappointing. We're pushing for the Premier League and Champions League. I'm starting to wonder, maybe I should have accepted what Owen Winter was saying, gone to Real Madrid. But nah, I've decided to become a managerial mastermind by winning with Arsenal, and we're gonna do just that. Now, to be honest, I feel like our team is incredible. Winter up top bangs in the goals. We've got Saka to support him. Vasilev and Davin just keep getting better. But I think there's a couple of areas where we can improve a little bit. The left wing spot and even the left back spot. Now, when I was at Borussia Dortmund, I was coaching a certain Miles Lewis-Skelly, and I thought he was absolutely incredible. And guess what? He's a former Arsenal player. Now, since his contract was expiring, we are able to bring him back to Arsenal for just 19 million. Now, I'm not done signing players from Borussia Dortmund, because I want another reunion, this time with Jordan Plant. He was the player that really motivated me in my Dortmund spell, especially during difficult times. And I know he combines really well with Owen Winter. And we had absolutely no issues in convincing him to sign for us. Now, we do have one problem. We've got Bukayo Saka playing in Plant's position, but I don't think there'll be a problem having Plant play in the left wing spot. He's got a 5-star weak foot, so he can still cut inside, get shots off. Oh, and isn't this the perfect opportunity to test out our team for the season? Champions League football, Arsenal versus Barcelona. I mean, we should have been in the Champions League last year. I don't know what happened, but now we're gonna find out where we actually stand competing with one of the contenders. I just realized we're up against Hansi Flick, a manager I think I've taken a lot of inspiration from. I mean, my style of play is definitely derived from his aggressive, high-pressure football. And that's why I really want to beat him tonight. And for that, I think Lewis-Skelly's going to have a big game against Lamine Yamal. And also new signing Plant is going to have a big game as he gets past this man with ease. Still Plant going for goal, but a big save from Juan Garcia. We are controlling this game so far against Barcelona. Now it's Bukayo Saka looking for maybe a pass. Finds Winter, who actually passes to Plant, but Plant couldn't convert. Owen Winter now playing the ball to Plant. That's a brilliant pass, and Plant puts it wide. Come on, Jordan. I know you're better than that. It's halftime, and I can't believe we haven't taken the lead. Just look at our XG. We've absolutely outclassed Hansi Flick's Barcelona, but we have nothing to show for it. Second half, though, we need to get the goal. No, that is just so silly. Mike Davin with the howler. And out of nowhere, Barcelona have taken the lead. We're coming forward with another chance, and Declan Rice gets the goal. One of the best tactical decisions we made was making him more of a box-to-box player. Bukayo Saka, the game has opened up, and Saka hits the post. We're still trying to win this game with possibly our last chance. It's going to be Frankie de Jong to put the ball in. Nobody could attack it, although it falls for Bukayo Saka. Goes for goal, but a deflection is not enough. A 1-1 result against Barcelona. We showed incredible fight, but man, I'm worried. Even after all the changes we've made, we're not good enough to beat the likes of Barcelona. We're done with the UCL League phases, and it's worrisome that we couldn't finish top 8. But saying that, our team is getting better. Look at Davin, Vasilev, Plant, and Winter now up to a 90 overall. Now in the Premier League, though, things are different. We're leading the title race 1 point above City. And this is it at the Emirates Stadium. We're up against Man City. This was the fixture last season. We bottled and we couldn't win the league. Now we've got a chance to make things right. Also, this could spur on our season in the Champions League too. Plant looking for Saka, and this is the opportunity we've been waiting for. Bukayo Saka can't score against Donnarumma. Compared to last season, though, we're looking much better against City. But there's no point if we can't make it count. And here's Winter, broken through, and he gets the goal. That's what we've been waiting for. Vasilev is driving the ball forward. Now it looks like we've got everything under control here. Uh-oh, 80th minute, and Man City's on the charge. If they score now, it could end our title race, but Restes makes the save. Full time, boys, and yes, we get the result against City. I have finally bested Pep Guardiola for the first time in my career. And yes, boys, end of the season, and we have won the Premier League title. No more second places. But let's hold up on the celebrations. Is there still a Champions League to try and win? Now, we did finish 11th in the league phases. That means we had to go through the playoffs, but we did knock out Wolfsburg. We also got the better of Real Madrid in the round of 16. That's huge. And it gets even better. We knocked out Barca and even Bayern Munich. This is a generational run from Arsenal. But to win the Champions League, I'm going to have to best the world's greatest manager, Pep Guardiola. Now, I did it in the Premier League. The Champions League is going to be a whole different game. Man, I can't believe it. The likes of Owen Winter, Vasilev, Devine, Plant. We started with them in Accrington Stanley's Youth Academy. And 6 years later, we're going to be playing a Champions League final together. What a journey we've been on. And this is it, boys. The most prestigious trophy in club football. If I win this with Arsenal, I can definitely call myself a managerial mastermind. Even the great Arsene Wenger couldn't win Arsenal a Champions League. Oh boy, I'm nervous, man. And I'm sure all the players are as well. But there is a bit of confidence in me since we did beat Man City to the Premier League title. We're going to need perfect games from the likes of Plant, who's gone for goal. That wasn't far out. Look at the way we're pressing, just forcing City to punt the ball forward. That is my style of play. But oh no, this is bad. City have taken the lead. Look at Pep Guardiola celebrate. Now we're in uncharted territory, a goal down in a Champions League final. And if we lose this game to Man City, we're going to regret it for our lives. We're the Premier League champions. This is the best chance we'll ever get to win the Champions League. Plant out wide. Looking for Vasilev. Our CDM is bursted forward and he's got the chance to score. I can't believe it. It's Vasilev. From fighting polar bears in Siberia to now scoring in a Champions League final. What a journey this man has been on. That's halftime and you can see the nerves in the faces of the players. But we are going into the second half all square. I think we can win this. We need to get Owen Winter more opportunities because one thing I know how lethal he can be in front of goal. And he's desperate to make a big moment like this his. And that's exactly what he's done. Off the post and in. Owen Winter in a Champions League final. Finally, he's had a moment as big as his ego in his career. And now we're pinning Manchester City back. One more goal could get us the Champions League. De Jong looking for Winter. Is it another one? And it is. And a cold celebration from Owen Winter. And there's the full-time whistle. It's a sense of relief as we've made Arsenal Champions League winners for the first time. And man, this feels so much better because yes, we could have gone to Real Madrid, probably won the Champions League with them. But instead, to help win Arsenal's first ever Champions League, kind of does feel special. And also we did it with the 4 boys that have been here from day one with me on this journey. We took them all the way from Accrington Stanley to European glory. With this, I think I can definitely say I've become a managerial mastermind. But have I become the world's greatest manager? That's going to be something you guys will decide in the comments. Now, if you enjoyed this video, watch me create the next big rivalry in football. Click here.